I did want to mention this because I don't know if we were going to talk about it otherwise today. Were you planning on getting into Deion, talking about his comments and clarifying what he had to say? The whole dust-up last week with the Max Olson article and his Twitter comments. And
I think after that, I kind of dropped that.
Okay.
I saw some reaction to it. I know there were more podcasts and columnists and all that. And I saw Deion still scratching
he talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah, he talked about it. So I didn't know if you were going to get to it.
No, go ahead.
Or not. But he was on the pregame show, which I guess is a place that he frequents. And he was asked about whether or not his conduct was appropriate in talking about the former player that spoke with Max Olson last week for that article in The Athletic, and kind of dunking on the kid. I mean, I guess for lack of a better term, and kind of poo-pooing on him or whatever. And he told the pregame show, I got to do better on that and not ride with it, but I was bored. I was bored, and I didn't say nothing hurtful. I don't attack people. So that's what he said about his comments. And, he got asked about, the comment about Shedeur that he reacted to about being a top 5 pick and this and that. And he said that was real, that's what he meant. And then asked about the Lord Jesus comment when it was pointed out that one of the players, Jaheim Ward, was not particularly productive. And he got his stats pointed out. He had somebody that was dunking on it was Caleb Mathis. When Ward was dunking on, Caleb Mathis said, bro, you had 38 yards last year. Stop trying to downplay somebody. It got into this whole back and forth, right, where suddenly this kid was getting disparaged, and that's when you had Deion say, Lord Jesus, in one of his responses, and that just opened it up even further. So he said that he tries his best to refrain, but when you posted stats, I said, Lord Jesus, like, dang, he really went at him, like he really shot him. That's really what I meant, and I think that was taken wrong. I think that was taken sideways or something else. So there was Deion just kind of commenting and I guess readdressing some of the Twitter back and forth from last week. I don't buy it. I don't buy what he's saying. I think he knew exactly what the Lord Jesus comment was. He was further targeting the trash talking of that player's stats.
Yeah.
I think he knew exactly what he was saying, but I didn't know if you had seen that. He said, I don't lose no sleep over any of it. I could have a tumultuous day in the eyes of others, but to me it was a good day because you know why. They talking. Well, that's Deion Sanders about all the dust up last week. Not backing down, but kind of shying away from what his intent seemed to be last week.
Distancing himself from
and kind of not really damage control, but sort of kind of just putting a lid on it and sort of moving on. But I don't think it was a good look for anybody. I don't know about you guys. I think it was just a bad look all the way around. And so hopefully we move on from that. But talking. People do talk about them a lot. And it's going to be just fascinating, again, to see them this season because last year was what it was. You had the built-in, hey, there's all these transfers. It's year number 1, this and that. But year 2, man, there's got to be some expectations.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's got to be real expectations. So, anyways, I just seen that in passing and thought I would bring that back up. Meanwhile,
Deion will always have a spotlight no matter what.
No matter what.
But the less amount you win, the less that spotlight will be across the board nationally. It will be him. And he'll still get the attention. But yeah, he needs to show some success.
Yeah, and if people are talking
success is, I don't know.
If people are talking next year, it's because they're 4-8. It's not because like you're in people's heads or whatever. It's because you're 4-8. Like that's why people are talking because there's been so much talk and you got to back it up eventually. You talk the talk, but walk the walk. I know he feels like he probably does that and they do that, but the record said otherwise last year. So we'll see what they can do this year. And then Lord have mercy if they win big. We know what that first month of the season was like, but if that actually carried over. Prolonged through to like October, I mean, what a circus that would be. That would be something else. Meanwhile, Chiefs